This dark and mysterious sound, it's the Phrygian mode. It's so beautiful, and in this video I'm going to show you some chords, some ways how you can improvise over this sound, also how you can apply it to your go-to jazz standards. There are some tricks how you can substitute this sound into your chords. So let's get right into it. I'm sure you all know sus4 chords, and here's one beautiful sus4 chord, which is actually only a C triad over a D in the bass. And if you transform this triad, the C major triad, to a C minor triad, and still play the D in the bass, get that Phrygian sound, because you have the sus4 up here and the flat 9 here. And of course you could also play it like this. Just play a C major triad up here and then play the D in the bass, and then again transform the C major triad into a C minor triad. Another option would be this chord. If you have a look at it, this shape here is actually like, like an E flat major chord, but then with a sharp 11, and then with a 7 in the bass. Or another possibility would be to play it like this. So I think many of you know the drop 2 voicings. This is a drop 2 voicing, like an E flat, drop 2 voicing with a D in the bass, right? The major 7 again is in the bass. And then I'm just transforming it again to a sharp 11 chord. So the Phrygian sound stems from the major scale. It's on the 3rd degree. So if you just play a C major scale like this, but then start the same scale on the E and play the same notes, you already get the Phrygian scale. And what is so important about this scale is this flat 9 in the beginning, the E to the F, but also the 4 and the 5. Very important sounds in the scale. And there's also another scale that you can use, and that's the Phrygian dominant scale, and that's just like the harmonic minor scale played from the 5th degree. So if you would be playing a harmonic minor like this, but then start on the E on the 5th degree, and again you have a flat 9, right? But you also have a major 3rd in this sus4 flat 9 sound. The sus4 chord, of course, the 4 suspends the 3rd, but a lot of people, for example Herbie Hancock, use chord voicings that have the 4 and the 3 in the same chord, and it sounds so cool. So for example, for D sus4, you could play this chord, right? Would have the 4 and the 3. Super cool voicing. So for example, this sound. option would be to play the F major 7 sharp 11 arpeggio, of course, because we used it in the chords, right? So we can use it for improvisation as well. Let's try how that sounds. So this was an E7 arpeggio, right? Because you can really think about the Phrygian sound like as of a dominant sound. And that brings us really closer to how we can actually use this chord. Let's play a 2-5-1 in A minor like this. Let's forget about the half diminished completely for a second and just transform the E7 flat 9 chord into a Phrygian sound. And we do that by raising the major third to the 4. So that works beautiful for minor, but let's try to do that for major as well. Let's go back to our minor triad. Let's play a C minor triad with a D in the bass. And think about that chord as a D, Phrygian chord, but also think about it as a D dominant 7th chord. Resolving to a G major 7 chord with a D in the bass. That's beautiful. One last 5-1 with the Phrygian sound. Realize it really works good on summertime. Or even if you're thinking about a modal situation like so what, thinking of changing the color of the minor chord, right? It could be Dorian, it could be Aeolian, but also it might be Phrygian. So work on coming up with your own voicings, your own ideas, how you can interject this sound into a tune. If you're very shy, you can always do that at the end of a tune because there's really a lot of space. And if a tune ends in minor, why not transform that minor chord into a Phrygian sound? If you like this video, you might also like this video about the major 7 sharp 5 sound, which is also a very cool and versatile sound. And I see you next week. Keep on practicing.